San Diego firefighters on the front lines of one of the first big fires of the season, and the clue on social media that helped launch a criminal investigation.
We vet every lead that we get, and unfortunately I think we're missing a lot of these victims because we never get that information.
Human trafficking is one of the largest criminal industries in San Diego, the major challenge to a local agency working to support victims.
Space travel is a reality that is going to be in my kids' future.
Ready to blast off the tiny experiment subjects that could help launch a human mission to Mars. KPBS Evening Edition starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Ebony Monet. We start with developing news overseas. Investigators say there were a number of fatalities tonight at an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England. This is video from inside the arena. You could hear some screaming as concertgoers made their way to exits. Investigators are still trying to figure out what happened during the concert. A representative says Ariana Grande was not injured. Greater Manchester Police tweeted asking people to stay away, and emergency services were responding to serious incidents at Manchester Arena. We'll have more updates on air and on KPBS Radio, online and at kpbs.org. PBS NewsHour plans on updating the story at 7 right here on KPBS. Right now, fire crews are on the front lines of a brush fire burning in East County. This is a look at the fire from the top of our KPBS studios. It's burning now at Big Rock Road near Mission Trails Park. 4 acres burned so far. It started around 4 p.m. 10 units are on the scene now, with a couple fighting the fire from the air. San Diego fire crews are working on the scene with the help from Santee and Heartland fire crews. The Gate Fire started Saturday near Hamul and burned through the weekend. CAL FIRE has lifted evacuation warnings. The fire is believed to be 75% contained. KPBS reporter Steve Walsh was at the scene and has this report.
We're out here at Sycamore Canyon. This is a popular spot for target practice. As you can see, you've got a whole bunch of targets here. You've got shell casings littered all over the ground. Now, fire officials are thinking this might be the spot where the blaze started, based on an online video that was posted to Instagram.
The video shows a group of people shooting in the area, then shows a fire starting. Later, the tape shows firefighters arriving. CAL FIRE spokesman Captain Isaac Sanchez says as the fire subsides, investigators have begun looking at the cause.
There is a video that was posted that purports to show the start of the fire, at least the cause of the incident. Our investigators are aware of the video, and they have contacted the person that shot the video, and he's cooperated during the investigation, and it's an ongoing investigation at this point.
Beginning late Saturday morning, the fire burned west from the area around Sycamore Canyon off State Route 94. Evacuation warnings went out to the small unincorporated town of Dulzura and to the Pio Pico campground. Roughly 10 acres had burned by the time firefighters arrived, but by Sunday the blaze covered 2,056 acres, making it the worst fire so far this year in San Diego. No citizens or firefighters were injured, but a Chula Vista officer was seriously injured while directing traffic Saturday afternoon.
Reporting from the site of the Gate Fire, Steve Walsh, KPBS News.
San Diego County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a deadly taser incident. 54-year-old Mark Atkins died after deputies shot him twice with a taser Saturday in Lemon Grove. Deputies say they were responding to multiple 911 calls about a man jumping fences and attempting to enter homes. They say Atkins did not respond to multiple orders to lie on the ground. A cause of death will be determined by the medical examiner's office. iNews Source published an investigation last week into accusations of grade inflation at Gompers Preparatory Academy. iNews Source reporter Brad Racino says after publication, more than a dozen teachers and students came forward to back up the investigation's findings. He has more on one of those students' stories.
Felipe Morfin Martinez came to us last week after reading our Gompers investigation. He said he had good grades when he was at Gompers, and he ended up with a full ride to UCSD, where he's earning straight A's and majoring in communication. Yet he's still upset, and the reason is because he's not doing what he always wanted to do, which is work toward a career in science, because he says he never got the education at Gompers that he deserved. Here's a clip of our interview last week.
It clicked on me when I was probably in 10th grade, or probably, yeah, 9th grade, where it's like my dreams aren't gonna happen because I can see it. Like, I know I'm not up. Like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not prepared for that.
Felipe said the teachers weren't the problem. The problem, he believes, is the school's focus on showmanship to the detriment of education. And this is something we've heard over and over again from students and teachers, this obsession with putting on a show for the outside world. Here's Felipe again talking about the school's director, Vincent Riverol.
I think that his objective was to be recognized, but it kind of backfires. Like, do you really want all this media attention because your students are dancing and twirling and putting on these elaborate shows when they can't do a simple calculus problem? Like, that's not right.
Now, we haven't been able to get hard numbers on all of the Gompers grads, but several students have told us that their high school friends are struggling or dropping out once they get to college. Felipe confirmed that during our interview.
Yes, I do have acquaintances from Gompers that are here, and it's a bit sad to see, but their hopes and dreams are kind of like slowly crumbling, and they're realizing it now. It's sad to see that. It's sad to see a person that was so excited in high school come to college and have to rethink their entire life.
I'm Brad Racino with iNews Source, an independently funded nonprofit partner of KPBS. For more on our investigation, go to inewssource.org/GPA.
Unemployment is going down in California, but improving job numbers may be painting a misleading picture. More than 16,000 non-farm jobs have been cut, and 4 counties in the state have double-digit unemployment numbers. One of those is Imperial County.
But we still have a lot of workers who are working 2 to 3 jobs to be able to afford to live in California with our housing prices. And so, yes, they're employed, but what kind of employment do they have? Lower level jobs. So the overall number looks good, but the individuals themselves are struggling.
California's unemployment rate dropped to 4.8% in April, a slight improvement from the month before. There's a key development today in plans to transform the Qualcomm Stadium site into Soccer City. Supporters say they've collected enough signatures to force the city council's hand. Now, council members will have to decide whether to approve the project outright or place it before voters. Mayor Kevin Faulconer threw his support behind Soccer City last week. San Diego State University surprised many people last week by withdrawing from discussions with FS investors. That developer was hoping to partner with the university on a stadium that could host soccer and college football games. San Diego State University's athletic director sat down with KPBS reporter Eric Anderson. The first question for John David Wicker: where will the Aztecs football team play?
We'll see what happens after 18. It could be going to Petco. It could be staying at Qualcomm. Our hope is that we can open a new stadium in Mission Valley, by September of 2020 that we're playing in.
How do you open a stadium in Qualcomm if you're not already working with an investor?
Well, one, we've publicly said we can build a stadium right now. San Diego State University can build a stadium. We can finance approximately $150 million stadium. We think we can build a $150 million stadium, 30 to 35,000 seats. We just need the property.
This idea of an annex campus, it seems to be a pretty strong driving and a consistent point that the university has talked about publicly. Explain to me what that is and what you see that being.
I feel like I have a little bit of a unique perspective having spent the last 17 months at Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech had something similar where 20 plus years ago they're bordered on one side of campus by the 75-85 interstate. Well, they jumped across the interstate, started buying up property, built an overpass over the interstate, and now they have what's called Technology Square. Their business school is located there. They have a lot of mixed-use retail. They have a hotel convention center, and they have a lot of commercial space that is leased to Fortune 500 companies that come in and do research and development.
Kind of an annex, an ancillary campus for San Diego State that has this technology park, maybe something like UCSD Connect, an incubator, a tie-in with a local life sciences industry, perhaps. Is that what we're
Yeah, I mean, along
about?
those lines, I mean, you look at our Zahn Center, you know, that's something that could move down there and flourish, you know, and whatever, as we look to research an EIS building where, you know, that's a lot of, you know, lab space and things like that where people can come in and, you know, do R&D and, you know, whatever it might be. It's not something that, you know, we're ready to jump into in the next 5 years. It's further down the road. It's 20, 30, 40 years. But initially, we can go down there and build out space that's thoughtful for what we would need and be, you know, rent that space and be generating revenue back to the university to help the university as a going concern. And then as we need the space, take it back over time.
What do you think is your strongest selling point to the people in San Diego?
I mean, so many of our graduates are here in San Diego. I mean, we are an economic driver. We drive tax base. We drive innovation. We are San Diego. So I would think there's great pride in San Diego and seeing, you know, an economic driver like San Diego State University grow and flourish in the city to become that top 50 research institution that we want to become is what people would want to see, so that, you know, their children and their children's children have an opportunity to attend the great San Diego State University and get a degree.
Is the split final, or is there a chance that you may find some common ground in the future?
Again, we've talked for almost 2 years, and we've outlined what our needs are in Mission Valley for both the stadium standpoint and the university. And quite frankly, it's time to move on. It's time, you know, we're running out of time before what potentially could be a November, the initiative being on a special in November. The city council still hasn't said that there's going to be a special in November. They actually have to act on that. So we decided it was time to move forward, and, you know, we're looking for an RFP process that the city council and the mayor's office could lead and have an open and collaborative process in developing Mission Valley.
John David Wicker, San Diego State University Athletic Director, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
The Del Mar Fair Board votes tomorrow on whether to build a new indoor concert venue on the fairgrounds. KPBS North County reporter Allison St. John says the board has already agreed to spend $500,000 on the plan, but the project itself could be controversial.
The Del Mar Fairgrounds Board hopes to generate more revenue with a new $11 million indoor concert and entertainment venue, and they're moving ahead fast with their plans. The idea is to build the theatre inside the existing Surfside satellite wagering facility. It was built in the 1990s to accommodate 5,000 gamblers. But Surfside is now a money-losing operation with just 200 or 300 people a day at the most attending, because you can wager on the horses on the internet these days. Del Mar Fairgrounds manager Tim Fennell says a new entertainment venue would be a great addition to North County.
So it helps stimulate the economy. And again, it's indoors. You don't have the noise, you don't have the lights. You're not talking about a lot of traffic. What's not to like?
Many people are familiar with the Kaboo Music Festival that brings up to 40,000 people to the fairgrounds in September. This proposal would be an indoor venue that would seat fewer than 2,000 people, more like a Humphreys by the Bay for North County. This is an artist's rendering. A feasibility study done by CSU San Marcos business graduate students shows that a music venue with about 80 or 90 concerts or events a year could repay the $11 million loan within 5 years. Some local residents of Del Mar and Solana Beach are up in arms, though. They plan to show up at Tuesday's board meeting to protest what they say is a state project being rammed through with minimum oversight. They're worried about traffic and law enforcement issues. Alison St. John, KPBS News.
Pot convictions may be going up in smoke thanks to the new recreational marijuana law in California. A lesser-known provision allows some felonies to be reduced to misdemeanors and some rap sheets to be wiped clean. Partial figures show more than 2,500 reduction requests were filed through March. The change has led to freedom for some people serving time behind bars. San Diego prosecutors work with public defenders to identify inmates eligible for release and expedite hearings. A San Diego researcher is sending flies into space for science. KPBS science reporter David Wagner has the story.
Karen Oker studies fruit flies at the Sanford Burnham Prebys Medical Discovery Institute, and soon a batch of her flies will be on their way to the International Space Station. This will be her second space experiment. Her goal is to find out how a low-gravity environment can affect the fly's heart. But Oker says the findings could also be relevant for any astronaut embarking on a long-term trip to Mars.
The significance here is that if there are effects that we can document from flies that spend most of their life in microgravity, then that gives us an idea of what things we need to worry about happening to humans.
If everything goes according to plan, the flies will blast off on a SpaceX rocket on June 1st. David Wagner, KPBS News.
Well, enjoy the warm weather and sunshine while you can. Clouds and temperatures closer to average are set to roll in. Jeff Cornish has tonight's forecast.
High pressure is still here, and we will continue to see a lot of sunshine. Now, the exception will be along the coast, and within a few miles of the coast, the marine layer will march back inland a little bit into tomorrow morning. Then we'll see some improvements in the middle and latter part of the day Tuesday, similar to what we experienced today. There's a significant cool down coming, though, later this week, so that's our big weather headline here, and we will remain rain-free. By the time the front gets here, it will generally wash out. We don't expect to see a whole lot of precipitation, really any of that around here. Here's the blank-looking map showing our satellite and radar. No satellite data for us other than just clear skies, and obviously no radar action beyond just the lack of rain. Tonight's forecast down to around 62. It'll be a night with some patchy fog as the marine layer begins to advance inland once again. And as we march forward in time here, overnight lows will get down into the low 70s in Borrego Springs, low 50s into Ramona, Alpine about 54 degrees, and San Diego right along the coast there. Other spots upper 50s to the low 60s for our overnight lows. We do stay dry and warm with high pressure sinking air. That really suppresses the cloud cover. And there, as you can see, the little hint of that marine layer with a few patchy clouds into LA and all the way down into San Diego as well, especially near the coast in the morning. We'll get brighter into the afternoon, and we'll go with nearly full sunshine off to the east. Look at that, 108 there in Borrego Springs, 79 in Mount Laguna, Ramona, 89 degrees for your Tuesday high. Oceanside, a nice refreshing 75, so you can basically pick your temperature as far as how far inland you may want to travel to experience a different climate. Coastal forecast shows the cool down. We're going to fall from the mid-70s on Tuesday down into the upper 60s on Friday with some clouds, but again, we won't see any rain over the next 5 days. There's not much of that in view, really. Inland forecast will fall from 86 on our warmest day, being Tuesday, down to around 71 on Friday. Into the mountainous terrain, 79 tomorrow, dropping to near 60. It's about a 20-degree drop here into Friday. And then for the desert locations, 108, a scorcher for Tuesday, but there is significant relief in sight. On Friday, we expect to drop to around 87 degrees for your high. That looks pretty good. I'm Jeff Cornish for KPBS News.
This week, Congress is working on combating human trafficking. In San Diego, it's nearly $1 billion industry. Victims endure a form of modern-day slavery. An organization in City Heights is scrambling to help immigrant victims before funding dries up. Darren Minto brings us the story. A warning, some viewers may find some of this story disturbing.
In an anti-human trafficking video, an unidentified woman faces away from the camera and explains in Spanish how she was abused by her American spouse.
Después me casé. Cuando me casé, vinieron los abusos psicológicos. Después vinieron los abusos.
She says her husband, a truck driver, forced her to join him on long trips across the country.
Yo no quería hacerlo, pero él me forzaba. Decía que yo ya era su esposa y tenía que hacer lo que él decía. Cuando estábamos ya en la...
She says he'd threaten the lives of her children if she didn't. So she went. And this is where it takes a gruesome turn.
Subía a hombres al camión, me violaban como quería, sangraba, y otra vez me seguían violando.
Eventually, she managed to escape and join her kids. But her story didn't end there.
She was totally destroyed.
Carmen Comte is with the City Heights-based nonprofit La Maestra Community Health Centers. The organization provides wellness services to San Diego's low-income residents, including medical care.
Her story is horrible.
Comte first met the woman in the video when she sought La Maestra's health services for her son.
The doctor asked him why he has fever. It was a winter time, and she said, we live in the car. Why you are living in the car? Somebody's following us. So he called me.
Comte leads La Maestra's human trafficking program.
She was tied in the truck.
After hearing the woman's story, she identified her as a victim and immediately got to work. She provided the woman with a monthly stipend, supplied her with donated items, connected her to health and counseling services, and put her on the pathway to residency.
And the trafficker was her husband.
The woman's husband purposely didn't seek legal status for his wife, who's from Mexico. Undocumented immigrants who are victims of trafficking are eligible for what's called the T visa. And with 18 months, Comte says the woman received hers and was able to stay in the country.
I still see her all the time. She's doing better now. Of course, you know, those scars in the soul never get well.
Over the last 5 years, Comte has helped 90 other victims of labor and sex trafficking in San Diego. Although the majority of victims countywide are U.S. citizens, most of Comte's clients are immigrants. She tracks them by placing a pushpin in their country of origin on a large wall map in her office.
Let's say we have one girl from Russia. See, she was a labor trafficking. We have two girls from India, Japan, Philippines. Mexico is full. That's why we have two extra maps for Mexico.
San Diego is home to a large human trafficking market, says FBI Supervisory Special Agent Todd Hemmen. He says it can be difficult for the Bureau to combat this because most victims who would provide key information stay hidden in the shadows.
We vet every lead that we get, and unfortunately I think we're missing a lot of these victims because we never get that information.
He says law enforcement agencies often work with organizations like La Maestra to connect with victims, which also increases immigrants' chances of receiving a visa. Comte says all of her current 18 clients are working with either federal or local agencies.
These are the open cases. I have 18 open cases right now.
Those 18 clients also rely on her agency's cash assistance of $500 to $600 a month while their visas are pending. She says clients often pool this money together to pay for housing instead of possibly ending up in a shelter. But recently, her funding from the U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants was reduced, and the rest is in jeopardy.
And this is really a problem of success.
That's the committee's president and CEO, Lavinia Limon, speaking via Skype. She says more people are coming forward to access its affiliate services each year. In the past, the federal government has raised the organization's funding, but not this year. It's now facing a $2.5 million gap, which she says will hurt more than just victims.
Because the people we help, they help law enforcement. They testify in trials. They give law enforcement information so the police and, you know, the FBI and everybody can go after these very well connected gangs who do trafficking and make millions of dollars off of it.
While there is a chance existing funding could be shifted and there are several other service providers in the county, Comte says her program could run out of money by the middle of July.
But if we don't get the money, these 18 cases that are open are going to be at the street again.
In the meantime, she says she can't enroll new clients. There are currently 5 people on her waiting list. Taryn Mento, KPBS News.
If you or someone you know is at risk of being trafficked, you may call 1-888-373-788 or text the word help or info to 233-733. If you walk around the East Village downtown, you know there aren't too many parks or public spaces. One exception, however, is a project known as Courtyard. It was built on land rented from the city, but now the lease is coming to an end and the project is moving out next month. KPBS reporter Claire Tregesser has more.
This was always meant to be a temporary project.
4 years ago, Philip Akatel was an architecture student with an unusual idea: to convert a vacant lot into a temporary park. Now the space is flourishing with a dog run, beer garden, coffee shop, and concert space. But its time is up.
We're able to say, okay, this is community-owned property. Let's create a community space out of it, even if that's just temporarily until the city's ready to develop, put a high-rise here.
The space will soon be taken over by a new development that will include UC San Diego Extension. Luckily, Akatel and his fellow Courtyard designers made the park to be mobile, with shipping containers.
We're going to pick all these containers up, we're going to move them to another location off-site. Simultaneously, we're going to then start getting the next location ready, which is one block east here on the corner of Market and 13th.
With the new spot only a block away, designers are still figuring out what will go in the space. It will be smaller, but Akatel says he's excited to see what they can do.
We're excited to be able to prove the model of saying that this can be here for now.
While the new project still needs permits, Akatel says he hopes the new space will be open later this year. Claire Tregesser, KPBS News.
You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.